Let's start with the number, 755. For more than 30 years, that number was basically sacred in American sports. It was this peak that a lot of people thought, nope, nobody's ever reaching that. But the thing is, the man behind that number, his story is so much bigger than just a stat. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into, the life, the legacy of the one and only Hammerin Hank Aaron. I mean, this is the man who didn't just make that number famous. He completely changed the game of baseball, and you could argue the entire country along with it.
Okay, so where do you even begin with Hank Aaron? Well, you've got to start here, with the nickname Hammerin Hank. And let me tell you, he earned it. His most famous moment, the one that put him in the history books forever, it was breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. A record that for the longest time seemed, well, unbreakable, just totally impossible.
Just let that sink in for a second. Over 30 years. That's more than a whole generation of fans who only knew one home run king. This wasn't just another record, you guys. This was a cornerstone of baseball. It's what made him a true immortal of the sport.
But, and this is what's so incredible, if you only know him for that one number, 755, you're missing out on the real story. You're missing the sheer scope of his brilliance. The man was so much more than just a home run slugger.
Take this number, 25. What's that? Well, that's how many times Hank Aaron was selected as an All-Star. 25 times. That is more than any other player in the history of the game. We're not talking about a flash in the pan here. This was pure, sustained excellence, year in and year out.
And this really starts to paint the whole picture, right? 3 gold gloves for his defense, so you know he could flash the leather in the outfield. An MVP award. I mean, that's the league saying, yep, you're the best. 2 batting titles, which is crazy, because it showed he could hit for average just as well as he could hit for power. And of course, he got that World Series ring. He was quite literally the definition of a complete 5-tool player.
But as he got closer and closer to breaking Babe Ruth's record, his biggest fight wasn't happening on the field, not even close. He was actually fighting a battle on 2 fronts. One was for a place in the history books, sure. But the other was a fight for his dignity and even his own life.
So think about this. On the field, he's chasing the ghost of a legend, Babe Ruth. But off the field, he's facing down a very, very real monster. And the closer he got to that record, the uglier the racism became. The U.S. Postal Service thinks he got almost 1 million letters, and so many of them were just filled with hate, with death threats. It got so bad the FBI had to step in. This wasn't just about hitting home runs anymore. This was a daily act of unimaginable courage.
And because of that, his chase for the record became way bigger than baseball. It became a landmark moment for the civil rights movement. Every single time he stepped up to the plate, every swing was a statement. And the way he handled all that hate, with this incredible quiet strength and dignity, it didn't just inspire millions. It really put a spotlight on the ugly reality he was up against.
So, after all that, after an unbelievable career, you might think he'd just ride off into the sunset. But that's not Hank Aaron. He didn't fade away at all. Actually, his impact and his legacy, they just kept growing, reaching way, way beyond the baseball diamond.
This timeline really shows that amazing journey. You see the pinnacle of his playing days, winning the World Series back in '57. Then comes the ultimate validation, getting into the Hall of Fame in '82. But that last part, that's the key. He took everything he went through chasing his own dream and made it his mission to help other people, especially kids, chase theirs.
And speaking of the Hall of Fame, get this. When he was elected, his name appeared on 97.8% of the ballots. That's just an overwhelming number. And it tells you something really important. It wasn't just a vote for his stats. It was a vote for the man himself. For his talent, sure, but also for his integrity and his incredible courage. And that work is still going on today. His Chasing the Dream Foundation became his life's work after baseball. He poured everything into giving young people educational resources and opportunities, making sure they had the kind of support they needed to go after their own big dreams, just like he did.
So it all kind of leaves you with this question, right? How do you really measure a legend? Is it just a number, like 755? Or is it something more? Is it maybe that combination of being one of the best ever at what you do, showing unbelievable courage when faced with pure hate, and then spending the rest of your life helping others? When you look at Hank Aaron, I think the answer is pretty clear. It's gotta be all of the above.